Well, oh, we're live.
We're
Hello,
live.
hi.
Hello,
Happy
everybody.
Wednesday.
Hey, we're here. It's Wednesday again, and we're so excited to be here at WJZZ Cool TV, and we have my co-host, Calibri the Artist.
That's right.
And I'm Deb LaPrette, and we have our amazing, fantastic guest, Dorothy Jet Carter.
Hi.
So, hello,
Welcome.
everybody.
Welcome. You're watching Get Down and Dirty Talking Art.
That's right.
Because we didn't
That's
say
right. I
that.
forgot about that. I was just so interested in WJZZ and Dorothy being here.
Yes,
So excited.
yes. And
So-
thank you for finally coming and for making the time. No, because you guys don't understand. Well, maybe you do. Dorothy is a celebrity.
Yes,
Number one. But you are, though. And for you to make time to join us on this show, it's just, thank you. Thank you. We
we're
really
very
do
excited.
appreciate it.
Oh, I'm
We're
glad
very
to be
excited to
here.
have her.
I'm
Yes,
excited to
yes,
be here.
Yeah.
So.
So, well, number one, Dorothy's going to be doing a reading at our exhibit Out of the Darkness, and it's brand new. If you're familiar, she has extraordinary book, Kente Cloth and Apricot Brandy, a love story.
Yeah.
So could you tell us, tell us about yourself. Tell us
Yeah.
about the book. Dive in. I'm going to let
Let's
you
go
do
ahead.
it.
You just talk.
Well, the book is called creative nonfiction is the style that the book is written in. Of course, I didn't know that when I was writing the book.
Okay.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Everything,
know either.
everything that I've learned, I learned along the way.
Okay.
And it's the story of a retired Detroit couple that travel, fulfill a lifelong dream, and travel to West Africa
Okay.
and spend a month in a small fishing village called Elmina.
Okay.
And fall in love with the people there and the expat community there, and
What is an expat
decide.
community? What does that mean?
It
Is that
means
your-
people who have left their country of origin. If they're people from America, there were people that were
alright.
people from Australia, people from the UK. Who most of them people of color, who had become disenchanted with their homes, and when they came to Ghana, they decided to relocate there,
Okay.
and so they're called expats.
Okay.
And so
we
we fell in love with the community there, and decided that we were going to relocate.
Okay.
So when we came back, I started writing on Facebook about our trip and posting pictures. And then, as we were making plans, we hadn't told anyone because we didn't want to argue with our children. They, knowing what they were.
Africa.
You all moved to Africa. What's wrong with you? You have dementia. So we didn't tell anyone, but we were steadily making plans, and we'd already looked at a condo and had a place to live.
Oh, wow.
And then Rod died.
Oh.
So since I had started writing, and I don't know whether it was part of the grief process, I just kept on writing.
It's beautiful.
And I wrote about Rod's spirit returning and spending time with me, often being bossy and telling me what to do. So there are some very funny parts of the book. And that's basically the premise. That's the book. And it's done really well. I didn't know I was writing a book when I started.
Okay.
And then I had a couple of dear friends who offered to edit it for me, and people just came on board to help me. And it's been amazing.
So how did it start? Because you said that you didn't know you were writing a book when it started.
Right.
Was it more like journaling, or just your mind went into storytelling?
I
or-
wrote as I lived it. So when I came back, I was writing about our experiences in West Africa. And then when Rod left this life, I kept on writing. I wrote about his death. I wrote exactly what happened as I was living it. Well, the people began to follow me. They were reading this story. And it grew. There were hundreds of people reading it. And people began to say, this should be a book. You need to write a book. And at first I was like, what are y'all talking about? I don't know how to write a book. But you're writing a book. So once I had two editors, then I gave in. And of course, they quickly made me take everything off Facebook.
Right. I wonder if they want to put the book up. Go ahead and put the photo of the book so we
Sure. We'll load that up.
Yeah.
We'll load that up.
Yeah.
So let's just while they have it up, these are my QVC hands
That's
here.
your PVC hands, yes.
This is Kente Cloth and Apricot Brandy, A Love Story. Now, the title, how did you come up with this title here?
Well, the title came after the book was more or less finished, or toward the end. And it starts out with a prologue that talks about my reminiscing about Rod and I, and what Rod would be doing if he and I were sitting there. And I had this beautiful kente cloth that I brought back from Africa that actually was woven for us while we were there. And I would wrap that around me, and my favorite drink is apricot brandy.
That sounds good.
And
That
he drank cognac, and he would complain and fuss at me about drinking the cheap stuff.
But it's fun.
Okay, so that's where the kente cloth and apricot brandy came from.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Beautiful.
that. It's so it's original. Not only just catchy, but I wouldn't have thought that it's connected to you in that way. So
Right.
it really does give you a peek into what the book's about. So I'm like, Kente Cloth, I'm hearing it around. Kente Cloth and apricot brandy. I wasn't sure exactly what it would
Well,
be.
that's why I added a love story
story.
afterward.
Right.
Yeah.
Because,
Right.
I'm pretty well known as being a textile artist.
Right.
So I didn't want somebody to think that the book was about,
Yeah.
art.
Yeah.
So I had to add a love story to the end
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Can we just get that picture back up, that photo again? I just want to point out to the viewers because it's really well done. It has the fireplace going, the brick, and then you see the kente cloth draped over the chair, and then
Yeah.
you see the glass of apricot brandy sitting there. It looks like a couple that would be sitting there.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
an evening.
And that actually was taken in my living room by a wonderful photographer who normally, Ifoma, who normally doesn't do this kind of work, but because he knew me and he's an artist, he agreed to take
That's beautiful.
that photograph.
It is.
So
It's a beautiful. Everything is so well done.
It really is, and I didn't realize it was this many chapters. And forgive me because I didn't read it. I had told Debbie I was going to steal her copy at one point.
Oh, I got you.
you better
Read
get
it
your
when she was
own
done, but
book.
now I'm going to get my own for
gotta
sure.
get
But
your own.
it was one of those just to read it and then have it. But I definitely am going to get it. But I didn't realize it was this many chapters.
Yeah. Chapters are short though.
That's
Okay.
nice.
It's
That's
the
nice.
writing,
Yeah,
except
they're-
for one, the laundromat is the longest chapter in the book. But most of the chapters are anywhere from 3 to 5 pages. It's not a wordy type of writing. I kind of have a dislike for when people take a long time to get there. Just say
It's
what
an
you got
easy
to
read,
say.
is what I say. It's an
And
easy
so
read.
it's
Yeah.
it's
a fun
easy
ride.
it's an easy read.
Yeah.
And there are photos in here as well.
There
Yeah.
are photographs, many of them from West Africa, from Elmina. And then there are photographs of my husband's work and my work as well.
Right.
But it reads like a novel. It's a group of memoirs, but it reads like a novel in order.
I'm going to, at least I'm trying to find a chapter, because I've seen certain excerpts that you put on Facebook. I have seen that because it really does suck you in.
It does.
It
You're
does.
waiting for the next one. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, Dorothy, when you can put another one out.
But
So we're all waiting.
Number one, because it's beautifully written.
Thank
but
you.
it's the imagery behind your writing. You had one, and I can't say the chapter. You'll have to say.
It's okay.
You had one. You put an excerpt up. I believe it was Memorial Day. It was a holiday, which you spoke on your routine. like how you would get used to cooking and how he had his special.
Are you talking
sauce.
about the one about the ribs?
Yeah,
Yeah, and see, that's not from the book.
Oh no.
So what? That's okay. It's not. It's okay. What has happened is that y'all that are waiting for book 2, quit. I'm not doing this again. But what has happened is that I have continued to write short stories.
Okay.
Not for profit, just because it just comes and out it comes.
Well,
So the story about the ribs that you're referring to was those secrets that many times we have, that we do things so our men can look good and feel good, but we don't necessarily tell them what it is that we're doing, right?
Right.
So my husband made these delicious ribs that were tough as they could be. And I told him I thought that the ribs might need to be a little more tender, and he said they were toothsome. That was his word for them. Toothsome. That ribs are not
give your jaw a
ribs,
workout.
ribs are not supposed to fall off the bone. And I'm thinking, yeah, but these are tough. So after he would cook the ribs, I would put them in the oven with vinegar, and the vinegar would tenderize them.
I didn't know
and
that.
then, vinegar, yeah.
Did you all hear that?
Yeah, you don't pour it on top, you steam it underneath.
Whoa, we have a little cooking tip here. Mr.
Tenderize
Dorothy's
the
different.
ribs, and then I would put them back in the pan. And he never knew.
Oh, I love
So I
that.
tenderized his ribs for years. For 20 years, I tenderized his tough ribs. So that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
But that's not from the book. That's just
Okay.
from Dorothy.
Okay, well, I apologize.
That's
not
okay.
ignorant, but it dives into the quality of your writing. It's those type of stories. It's and it doesn't just hit up. Okay, I tenderize Rob's ribs.
Yeah.
Like it was like okay in the morning. It really places you in the scene and in the moment. I think you even spoke on the smells and
Yeah.
the sounds as you prepare.
Because when you're
and,
reading
know,
it, you actually feel like you're right there.
Yeah,
I'm smelling
yeah.
those
Oh,
ribs
thank
cooking.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Smell
and it's
those ribs.
comical as well.
Yeah.
but also it's very emotional. It's all of the emotions that you capture so vividly. You really put the viewer right there in your shoes, and then it went into basically what it feels like now, having that routine for 20 years, now into being thrown into this holiday and not really knowing what to do.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's really what it was.
is.
It
I
touches
think
you.
those short stories that that just come to me and I write. I don't necessarily know where it's going. I just kind of let it take me. That's how I write.
Right.
And so I think it was Spaghetti and Ribs or something like that was the title, and it was because I was by myself, so I was going to eat spaghetti for Memorial Day, and I was thinking about
The ribs.
I would have had ribs if it had been Memorial Day, and I would have had to go behind Rod's back and tenderize his ribs.
So cute. It's so cool.
The reading.
Yeah, if anybody wants to put a comment or call in, what is the...
Give us
please.
a call. It's 313-355-6018.
And you can talk to our wonderful
And
guest.
should I be looking that way? Have people
it's
been
fine. It's
looking
fine.
at the
You
back
can
of my
give
head?
you can give a wave here and there.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to call in. We'd love
And-
to have you speak to our...
Yeah.
Or
And
make
also,
comments.
while we're paused, thank you for watching Get Down and Dirty
Dude.
Talking Art on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. We're streaming live from YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, of course.
That's right. That's right. And our wonderful guest, Dorothy Jack Carter.
Yes, yes,
Please
yes.
comment, and call.
And call.
And call. So, yeah.
So, do you have a favorite chapter or any chapters that...
Right.
Oh, standalone chapters. I think my favorite chapter is the longest chapter, which is the laundromat, because it doesn't speak at all about Rod's death, and it doesn't. It speaks about something that happened to me when I was a child, traveling with my father to the South. My father was a civil rights activist. And we traveled to the South to work with people during the struggle for voters' rights. This was in the 60s.
Okay.
And it's about an incident that happened during the time that I spent with him in the South. I don't want to say where it was, and I don't want to give too much away. But that story of what happened and how it changed me and the effect that it had on me is something that I never shared with Rod. Because it's something that would take a long time to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And as everyone knows, as you know,
yes.
Deb,
Yes.
Rod, I get to talk now. That's the one. I wish he was here, but I do get to talk.
He's sitting right there.
Yeah, so I never got a chance to tell him because he wouldn't have ever let me get that long of a story out. So being able to write that story that I really wish I had told him, that's probably my favorite chapter. I don't think it'll necessarily be everyone else's favorite, but
It really holds up. Yeah, a
it's
very
mine.
strong memory.
Right.
Yeah,
and the meaning behind it, I think that makes it more impactful
Right.
for
Right.
anyone who's now like me, who's newly reading the book.
Well, tomorrow,
Saturday.
Saturday, I'm moving everything up. Saturday, because I'm excited about it. Saturday will be the first time that I'm doing a reading and presentation that is not strictly straight from the book.
Okay.
It is a combination of 3 chapters, and it focuses on the healing power of women. So it's called The Healing and the Queens.
The healing and
Ooh.
the queens.
And
I'm gonna have to break my own rule to be in there. I'll be front row.
Can't do that. You have to let the visitors sit first.
We're supposed
We'll
to
have
let
this
the visitors sit
conversation.
first.
The
I
Queenie
just
will be
wanna
standing
take
right
a-
next to Dorothy.
Just a quick pause. So again, Dorothy's going to be reading at Out of the Darkness. Okay, that's at 8711 Grand River, which we'll talk more on Saturday. She'll be reading at 5 p.m. She's in a very nice space, but she has a space all to her own. So it's limited spacing. We're going to try to fill it up as much as we can, and then
might
to
be
the point of
standing room
standing
only.
room. But we said that we would allow the guests to get the first dibs on the seats.
But Cleveland and I will be sitting right next to Dorothy. We'll be standing there going,
And I will be auctioning one book.
That's right, auctioning a book.
That's
I
right.
might
Yeah.
be right there.
So you got to be on time in order to get a raffle
that's
ticket.
right. She has a raffle going on.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So
But it's going to focus on Gifty, the healer that we met while we were
That's
there,
right.
and the elder queens of the village that we visited, and it's going to be different because I have the time to be able to present it in a way where I can say some anecdotes that aren't in the book, And,
y'all
and I
better
think
become-
that people will really enjoy it.
Saturday,
Yeah.
April 2nd.
So I'm excited.
I'm excited
About
as
it,
well.
too. I can't wait.
I love your writing, and
I know.
you have to do another book. And I'm saying this.
Oh,
to somebody-
stop!
She's like, no!
No, because your writing is so powerful. It's just
Yeah.
I think no matter what you're going through, you always need a good book. And when you have a gift, you can't
Thank
keep
you.
it to yourself. You
Well, I
always have a
hope that the
gift.
book is a book. In fact, I know that it is because people have told me that, and that was what I was hoping it would do. That it would be the kind of book, while you can read it from front to back as a novel.
Excuse me.
And I hope that people do that, and I hope that people have a hard time not reading it all at one time. You also can go back to any chapter in the book. Most of them are standalones. So there are chapters that are very calming, like the white birds, that chapter about the white birds on the Sea of Guinea and how they looked and how they moved. And, the fact that the sun went down at 6 and was up at 6 because you're at the equator, and the look of the lights of the fishing boats stretching as far as you can see. There are chapters that are very calming, and there are chapters that are gut-wrenching. So if you got something to cry about, reading those gives you permission to cry. So
I love it. Could you tell us about, because this stands out, not only because it's a chapter in the book, but I've seen you post and refer to yourself as this as well. Could you tell us about Miss Grouchy?
Oh my goodness.
I love Miss
Now they know
Grouchy.
you haven't read the book yet. Okay. Miss Grouchy is my alter ego. She appears in the book periodically, just like she appears in my life periodically. When Rod was still in this life, he used to refer to my sometimes unpleasant personality, especially in the morning, as being Miss Grouchy. And it stuck. So he would call me, and sometimes, I'm like in the morning, give me a minute, give me a minute, give me 2 cups of coffee, and then give me another minute. Rod is like, let's go.
Rod and I are the same personality. Yeah.
And so he would call me Miss Grouchy. Well, now Miss Grouchy has become my constant companion because Rod's not there. So I use her as an excuse sometimes at my age to speak my mind. Yeah. You met Miss Grouchy today. Remember earlier? It wasn't on you, but somebody that I was meeting wasn't where they were supposed to be. And
she called and was like, girl. So I'm about to give me some Chipotle and take a nap. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Miss Grouchy is constantly there to help me through difficult times in the book. And I introduce her in such a way that people reading the book understand. If you pick it up and start in the middle, you're not going to get it.
Her.
But
right.
yeah, so that's who Miss Grouchy is.
I love it.
Yeah,
cool.
and she's stuck around. Now, even the book has been out there. We're coming up on in June the 1-year anniversary of the book launch.
Oh my
And
God!
it's
That's so cool. I didn't realize that.
It's done very well. Even though I did some things that people told me not to do, but I was determined to stick to my gun. People, publishers wanted a softback.
This is nice. This is very.
I wanted a hardback book. I wanted something that looked like a piece of art.
And
It does.
Yeah.
And
It does.
I stuck to my guns. Now I'm
glad
glad
you did.
because the Library of Congress, some libraries here are making it part of their collections. Had I not had a hardback, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh my God, that is
And
so cool!
so
I didn't know
these
that.
things just happened. I didn't know, that.
Wow.
I didn't know what I was doing, but I think my hand was being guided.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
It was.
My friend would say, but God.
It was.
Yes.
Wow.
This is wonderful. So what feedback do you get from the book since you've written it?
People just seem to really relate to it.
How so?
A lot of people who I don't want to focus the book as a book for someone who's grieving, because I think if you haven't had a loss, you can read this book and it's a love story.
Yes.
And the fact that Rod dies doesn't change it from being a love story. But for people who have had a loss, they relate to it because it gives them permission to talk about it. It gives them permission to be angry because they can read about someone else who was angry.
Yep.
It gives them permission to laugh again and to think that even in death, there are things that happen that are just funny. They are. And so you will read about them. There are some things that happen that just are funny. And it's okay to find something funny.
That's right.
Even though you're planning a memorial.
That's right.
So I think that, people have constantly given me positive feedback. I have not had any negative feedback about the book.
That's
just-
beautiful.
I can't wait to dive in because Dorothy really is brilliant in her artistry. Which
She
she's
is.
an artist across the board, which we'll get in. But with your artistry with words,
And that is a true talent.
Yeah.
Because not everybody
Yeah.
can do
Thank
that.
you.
no,
I mean,
no.
and they know I can't.
And
right.
again, I'm glad that you spoke on not experiencing loss because I don't know what it feels like to lose a husband. I went, kind of lost one, but not
Right,
passing
right.
away. But that's why it touched me with your story, not from the book, but with the spaghetti on Memorial Day, because I think I was eating like spaghetti. I was eating something else other than barbecue as well. So I think that's what hit me.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what this is talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was relatable and it was comical and it was fun. It really summed up what I was feeling, in that moment. Just because it wasn't my typical Memorial Day. And I
Right.
think anybody even going through the pandemic, who's gone through a shift.
Oh, yeah.
And even if you haven't, it's entertaining the way that you deliver it. It just sucks you right on in,
Right,
whether you
right,
want to
right,
be there
right,
or not.
right,
It
right.
sucks you right on in, and you can't help but feel all the emotions that you're portraying. So I can't
Well,
wait.
thank you.
I'm gonna have time after this event. I'll be able
God,
to.
yeah. The shelf
Just
or-
read one chapter a day,
Yeah.
Well,
if you can.
I'm gonna have me some brandy,
Apricot brand.
or I might get some cognac. I like cognac
Yeah,
wine.
cognac.
Okay.
Set the mood.
Just read
Follow
one.
the
Just
book.
read one if you can. I'm warning you. I have had people say. In fact, one lady put it on Facebook and said, "I have other things to do besides read this darn book."
And I can see that. I
But
can
if you
see that.
can, just read 1 or 2 chapters a day,
Girl,
and
this
that
will
way
be-
you will,
This will be done.
Yeah.
This will
Yeah.
be done. Like, all right, Miss Dorothy, I finished the book. The next
You know.
book, when is it?
Or be like Richard Reeves, who said he was angry because he gobbled it up,
See?
and now it's over.
Yeah, so we need another
So-
book.
So
We need
no.
another book.
I'm not. I wanted to. People ask that question. Remember, I didn't start writing a book in the first place, right?
No.
Right.
Okay. This was under pure duress.
Okay.
But
Just started
I'm
posting
happy
on Facebook.
writing one beautiful, really good book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying at my age to become the next great author.
But you are.
You are.
I'm just,
But this is her
one-
legacy.
but
This
this
is a beautiful thing for
You
Rob.
know, I am still an artist at heart.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take an
So-
early break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're here at WJZZ Cool Jazz TV. Get down and dirty talking art. We are here Facebook Live, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Comment,
Facebook.
share.
Oh, you said Facebook.
Yeah, comment, share. We have our wonderful, wonderful guest, Dorothy Jack Carter. We're talking about her book, Kente Cloth and Apricot Brandy.
That's right. You rolled it up to the
Yes, we
camera.
did the QVC thing. It is an amazing book. We have an event this Saturday from 1 to 7. You want to give them the address? I always
Sure,
get
it's
mixed
at
up.
8711 Grand River in Detroit, Michigan. It's called the Riverside. So the event is from 1 to 7.
It's an amazing
Yes,
event. It's
but-
going to be fantastic. And we were in the Detroit News today, everybody.
Yeah.
I am so excited about the event. So.
Come to the whole thing, but if you want to see Miss Dorothy and get in early for her reading and her special raffle, then you want to be there. Be there
She's
before
reading
5.
at
She's
5.
reading
You better
at
be there
5.
before
You better
5.
be there because I'm going
You
to
better
take
be
your
there and
seat.
just walk around and look at all the art.
Well, I want them to come early enough to
To
shop
and
and
see all
look
the
at all
art.
of the art.
With some
I think we got some
amazing-
wine to taste. and-
Yes,
Yes.
with some
Yeah.
amazing
Yes.
art. Oh my God, we're so excited. We have
Yes.
books
30
on auction.
artists. 30
Over
plus.
30. 30
Okay.
plus.
Yeah, yeah.
Goodness, we're at about closer to 40. I can't
All
even
women?
say. All women.
All
women.
women.
All
I wanted
women.
to make sure that I
All
said that soft
women.
before I
Yes.
wasn't, but I
All
thought
women.
this is
Yes.
all female artists.
Yes.
It's-
And it's a few first timers.
Yeah, we got some first
We have a
timers.
few
Very, very
first-timers.
excited. Very
Yes.
excited. We're very proud.
Yes.
Marwa, I've been talking to her a lot on Facebook, so I'm looking forward to meeting her.
And we have a
Yeah.
silent auction, and come by art, support women artists, and support Miss Dorothy Jack Carter.
That's right.
And her
She'll
book,
be
and she
raffling
will.
a book.
Will you have some books for sale?
Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
there'll be
Of
books for
course.
sale. Good place.
course.
I was like, you better have some books for sale.
Are you serious?
Oh, I figured you would, but yeah. And also, if you come in, you get a chance at a free book. You get a raffle. Possibility.
It's just I can't. I keep looking at it because it's so beautiful.
It
just
is so
sitting here.
beautiful.
It's something about the colors and
It is.
Thank you.
it's just it really is really well thought out.
It is. It is.
Now people are messaging me. I get the book.
Hello. Go on Facebook. Go on and
On
comment.
Saturday or come and support.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we have these lovely pieces on the table.
gonna
Could
go-
you tell us more about your other gifts and talents?
Yes. She's got many.
Well, I'm a textile artist, and I'm most known for these smaller bags and the big bag. I didn't bring the big bag because then the big bag is not in production right now, but the smaller bags are called spirit bags.
Spirit bags.
And they're made mostly by hand.
Look at that. Look
And they have some pictures they can put
Yeah,
up
if you guys
of
want to put some
them.
photos up, go
It's
ahead.
still I like to show the.
There's,
Yeah.
yeah.
There
you
we go. There's some
That's,
of her
Isn't
that's
that beautiful?
Yeah. Now that
Gorgeous.
one is all mud cloth along with tapestry, and that's this one, and it's hand beaded. All of them are hand beaded.
They're
This one
gorgeous.
happens to have cowrie shells. I don't do very many with the cowrie shells, but there were cowrie shells in the
Look
mud
at that one.
cloth.
That one, the brown one's
So, and
beautiful.
then
These are all
the brown,
authentic.
right? It's all authentic. This is, as I often say to people, now I am reaping the benefits of being a fabric hoarder because I've been collecting fabric since the 90s, African fabric, really good African fabric. I've traveled to Africa pretty extensively and brought back tons of fabric whenever I went. But here recently, during the last 2 years, I haven't been able to buy fabric from the traders that I've developed relationships with through the years because they couldn't get here.
Yeah.
And so I had this stash. I'm glad.
She had a secret stash.
Yeah, I've cut up a few things that started out as something else.
And I just wonder if we can get this camera up again. I want to show just how durable, because the pictures don't always do it justice.
Right.
And we can flip it all right on over, but I'm holding it up here.
There you go.
We're going to switch the camera around so you guys can see. They got it loaded up, but I
Yes.
want you to see just how durable.
The quality is so
It is.
amazing.
You had up the right camera. You didn't have to switch. Oh, goodness.
So they're
I'm
all
making it difficult for
lined,
you.
completely lined with kente cloth,
They're gorgeous.
with printed
And look at
kente.
these. It
And then
has
they
the
have an
metal
inside
clasps.
pocket and an outside pocket.
Well, look at that. That pop
Isn't that
of
beautiful?
color. I think that's what I like the most. And you see this pocket here, this red pocket. But they're very durable, and I like that they keep their shape.
Mhm.
If you're
Yeah.
somebody who wears purses
That's-
like me,
that's-
I'll wear a purse out.
So you can put your phone in this
Yeah,
pocket.
that's so
Has that
nice.
pocket
They
up
all
there.
now have I don't know how to hold it up like you did. Huh?
Well, it has these little pockets
Yeah,
right
they
here.
all have a pocket on the front.
Yeah,
Right.
they have these pockets here.
So the
And then what I
design
love
has
as well,
changed
Her
through the
tags.
years.
Dorothy
So
J.
if you
Carter
bought
of
one
Detroit.
6 years ago, you need to get a new one because
That's
these
right.
are much
Look at
better.
that. Isn't that just lovely? And again, I'm a stickler for the pops of color.
I call it the surprise when you
Has
open
the
it up.
pockets.
Yeah.
And then the
back
backs
is
are
so-
different. So
Yeah.
that's what I like as
But
well.
in the African tradition,
It's like a
we're
surprise
not
in the
afraid
back
to
here.
put
Look at that.
prints together.
That's very
You
cool.
know, as long
Right,
as
right.
they have the same color palette. So it's okay to put a kente cloth inside of something that's completely different.
Almost there. Isn't that just
That's so pretty.
Now the fabric on
Lovely.
that one, this one is actually from Senegal,
Oh, neat.
and I've had that fabric since 1991.
Whoa.
So that's and I'm at the end of it.
Mm.
So, I
So
think
the
that's
bags
what
that I've
adds to it
used
as
that
well.
on have a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have. That's a valuable one because it has quite a
Beautiful.
bit of that fabric in it, and I'm really at the end.
And I think that's what adds to it. The connection to the pieces. It's not just that you went in and got fabric, because now, you know, you can get African prints at the
Right.
beauty supply.
Right.
Right.
You know, but even the texture
This is
in
the whole. This is the
Yeah.
real stuff.
how woven
Yeah,
it is.
these are
you know.
woven
Gorgeous.
fabric.
And then these are hand stitched, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Your
Everything,
beads.
yes.
Just
Yeah, they're all hand
You can't see the intricacies in these bags, but where she has the beading, number
It's
one,
just-
they're all perfectly
it's-
symmetrical across.
It's
Like
the
it's not
beading,
like
right
off
here.
skip. It's like perfectly symmetrical,
Yes.
and just they're just so beautiful. The shapes that you've chosen, where you place them,
Right.
the how some have shells, these little ornaments sort of that are in. Just each
Yeah.
one, like this has people. This one has a face like the mask.
I think this one has
That one, I think I
Zephyr
like that one because it has the gold
Right.
emblem on it. This one here, but it's just there's so much thought put into it, so much care, not just thought, but
It's
so
an
much
original one of a
care.
kind. When you're carrying it, you're
Put
carrying a
into
piece
it.
of art with you.
It really is.
You are.
It
You're
really
carrying your art.
is. It really is. They're lovely.
Well, I will have these 4.
Yes.
Okay.
They will be at our event.
I will have these 4.
And that's all she's got,
Saturday.
everybody.
She
I
might have
rarely-
3.
Oh, you better
Play.
I
find
rarely
one.
sell them myself.
Okay.
I've learned that through the years because I can't get the work out if I'm spending time taking care of customers without letting this grouchy come out. So, okay. So they're available at the Hannon Center, the Detroit Artist Market, the Birmingham Bloomfield Art Center. Did I leave out anybody?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I think the Wright Museum, but they are completely sold out right now. So those 3 places that I named are 3 places where you can find the spirit
Beautiful.
bags.
It's just,
These
they're
are
just beautiful.
They're gorgeous.
Now,
And how
should
much
we-
do these run?
They run from $149 to most of them are $149, $159. Every once in a while, I will do a very oversized one, and those are a little more. But most of them run $149
great
and $150.
price.
This one's $159, and this one's $149, for example.
And it is for original, like Debbie said, they're artworks.
You're
It's not just
carrying
that you're
a-
getting a purse.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
You're
right.
getting, number one, original pieces.
That's
Right.
right.
Even if she makes another one, it's not going
not
to be
gonna
the
be
same.
like
Nothing
that
ever
one.
looks the same.
And how we are as women.
And they
we
are
don't want to see
special.
nobody
That's
else.
Right.
And
They
you're
are
not.
special. It's not for going to the grocery store.
No,
That's right. That's
No.
right.
no, it's just these.
But
one
it,
of a
it will
kind.
hold up for that, but that's not, it's
Right,
meant
right,
for
right.
when you're going out to a nice dinner.
Yeah.
You're taking yourself or someone else is taking you.
That's right.
You know.
Very nice. You
And
know.
just again, like I said, the quality of the fabric.
Thank you.
These
It's
are just- they're
I know.
lovely.
They're just amazing.
They're
They're
lovely.
just beautiful.
And the tags. I know we mentioned the tag, but she has
A leather
leather
tag. It says her name.
with Dorothy J. Carter, Detroit.
Yeah.
Who made you add the Detroit on there?
That was important. I mean, it's important. We don't realize it so much in Detroit because we're Detroiters. We kind of take it for granted. But when you're buying this, the National Museum of Women in the Arts carries my bags. When they turn it over and see Detroit on the back, that sells the bag. Because we're thought of as being the Motor City. We are cool. We are on top of things. And we don't realize it as much as we should. So I wanted to make sure that I'm a native Detroiter. That was important to me.
I like that.
Yeah.
I do too.
I like that.
I do
That's
too.
not something that I would have
Yeah.
considered. But you're right, it is important
Yeah.
that we're known for our culture. Detroit is
We have
very
a
cultural.
vibrant art community,
Oh my, we have
much,
huge
yes.
art
much
community.
more
The
connected than many cities.
Yes, arts,
Yes.
music, period.
Yeah.
This is a sidebar, but we
Right.
talked about the we'll bring back the Detroit Festival of Arts again. But we talked about the logo behind it, and we got into a debate as to whether or not to put the spirit in it, and that was kind of the selling point. Like, look, the spirit represents, are the people, the spirit of
That's
Detroit,
right.
and they talked about the politics. Well, we're like, that's what connects our city. Anybody outside of the world should know that that's what makes up our
Right.
city, not just our politics and our
Right.
policies,
That's right,
but our
that's right.
culture
Right.
That's
as
right.
well. It's
Yes.
infused
Yeah.
in that.
It's we have to. I mean, when you're in Sedona, Arizona, and you buy a bag that has a label on it that says Detroit, we think that they're exotic, but they think we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
it's a
like
selling
that.
feature.
I
Yeah,
like
That's a
that.
great
Yeah.
selling
Like a badge of honor.
yeah, it
It
is.
is.
Find a way to infuse.
Yeah,
It's like holding a painting up. But
I
you're
love
wearing
that
this
one.
painting. You know,
I
it's
just love it. I guess because it sparkles, you can just see it across
Oh,
the
it's
table.
so-
Y'all, I'm shopping low key. I'm supposed to be
you
interviewing.
know how to get your bag and tell you these bags are going to be at the event.
But
at
they
the
might
event.
not.
Yes, they
I'm gonna
will.
be running around.
Nope, these
And
bags
you're
are
gonna be like,
gonna.
they're sold
You
out.
got to get your bag after the event. These bags are going to be at the event.
That's
We're not
right.
going to tell people we're going to have these bags, and then Calibri's going to go shopping at the end of the show.
Oh.
So Miss Grouchy says, nope, you got to wait.
Okay.
Yep, you got to wait. We should tell them where they can get the book if they don't.
Yes. Yes.
Sure.
If for some reason they can't make it on Saturday, the book is available at the same places that I mentioned. The bags were available, so you can get it at the Wright Museum. The Wright Museum was the first entity to carry the book. They're also available at the Hammond Center. They're available at the Detroit Artists Market, and that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
all three places in Detroit.
Right.
And careful because they sell out.
They do. She gets them in
She'll
and they're gone in
deliver,
a
but
couple
they do
days.
sell out. So go right away.
That's right. That's
So
right.
how did it feel once you first released everything? Because Charles H. Wright is not anything to sneeze at. How did it feel having a book launch and then be carried in such a prominent place?
I think I kind of was, being honest, I was kind of spoiled. Because my work, my textile work, and my jewelry has been carried at the Wright Museum since it was in a house on West Grand Boulevard, and I know I'm aging myself now, okay? But for years, for many, many years. So, and I've been what they consider, they call me a resident artist. So my
That is
work
so cool.
has been there that long. So because of the fact that I was already an artist with work established in so many galleries around the city, it gave me a foothold into the door. My toe was in already. And I could go back to those galleries and say, okay, I know you all don't normally sell books, but, and they were glad to have me. Now, the
That's an
museum sells a lot of books, so I didn't have to say that to them.
Right.
But the Detroit Artist Market hardly ever carries books, but they were glad to have it because I already had that relationship.
Right.
So being an artist really helped me that way.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing.
And then it being phenomenal couldn't have been too bad either.
That's right. That's right. That's
Well,
right.
thank you.
That's right.
I'm
Yeah.
just really excited. I can't stress enough purchasing this book. You know, number
Yes,
one,
it's-
because you are supporting a native Detroiter.
And
but
you're supporting woman.
to supporting a woman.
Women.
But it really is, and this is without reading. This is just going based off of the things that I have read, and then her artistry period with writing. The quality that comes with it.
Yes.
Because you're not the first artist to emerge from Detroit, but we don't often get these incredible novels coming from Detroit. These
No.
incredible pieces, these works, and all of it from your fiber works to your purses
To her jewelry.
to your books. I'm still gonna put an S on it. to your writings, we will say. God, just it's wonderful that Detroit that we, I was gonna say we own, but
Yeah.
that we have Dorothy Jet Carter.
Well, thank you.
That's just, you're a gem.
Well,
You're a
thanks.
gem.
Thank
and that's,
you.
She is.
that's
So there is a website if they want
yes.
to.
What is the website?
Yes, what's the
And
website?
it's, huh?
The website.
Okay. It's DorothyJetCarterOriginals.com.
Okay.
So www.DorothyJetCarterOriginals.com. You can go on there and purchase the book. And also you can go on the website and read about the book. It gives a lot of detail about the book so that you kind of get an insight into why I wrote it and what was going on inside my head. And there's also a page that features all the team members.
That's
who,
nice.
because people don't do that. People don't give, in my opinion, a lot of authors don't get the time or aren't able to take the time to thank the whole team of people that were involved
That's
in
nice.
creating that book. I have 2 editors. I have a layout editor. There's a graphic designer. There's publishers, 2 of them. There's photographers. There are endorsers. One of my endorsers is Judy Bowman, who happens to be a good friend, one
Yep.
that I knew would tell me exactly what she thought. We had no idea that she was going to become a
That famous-
Kresge awardee.
Yes, yes.
Oh, now she's a Kresge fellow. So there are a number of all of these people who are part of the team that helped assure that the book was one of quality, that it was laid out perfectly, that there's no misspelled words, that where the grammar is imperfect, it's supposed to be.
Okay.
So, there's just a team of people who were extremely helpful. And of course, Rod's cousins, who were already have a homestead in West Africa, and we would never have been able to be there and have the same story if it had not been for them.
It was beautiful. Wow. Yeah.
You're watching Get Down and Dirty Talking Art with Calibri the artist and Debbie LaPratt.
The artist and our wonderful guest, Dorothy Jett Carter.
Yes, very talented.
Yes, yes.
So, have you considered still going to Africa?
I will go back, but I won't go back to stay. I considered it, having made a number of friends there, who all want me to come back, who are were devastated by Rod's death. Because even though family and friends here didn't know we were coming back, they knew. So they were helping us make our plans to come back. Now I feel like it would make me sad. I'd be sad all the time. Here, I'm able to have some days where it's not in the front of my mind. I think it would be in the front of my mind all the time.
Yeah, I got what she's talking
All
about.
the time.
I got
So
it.
I will go back to visit, but I'm not going to relocate there. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And then, COVID
It's
affected
changed.
everything because Rod passed away right before COVID started. Rod left in November of 2019. COVID started in March of 2020. So I only had, the memorial was in December.
Yep.
So I only had December, January, and February. And in March, COVID started. So part of COVID has affected everything that we did. I don't know that I would have been as successful with the book in terms of the quality if I hadn't been isolated. I
Oh,
had to
that's
be,
important.
I was isolated and
I can see that.
confined inside
Wow.
my home while I was writing.
And able to really, really connect with your
Right.
thoughts and feelings.
Right,
Yeah,
Get
right,
those out.
yeah,
right,
yeah.
Right.
Do obviously this has been a way to release emotions and be creative for you. Do you feel that this also has been sort of a tribute or memorial for Rob as well, for your husband?
It wasn't meant to be, but I think that it has been in a way. I wouldn't look at it as a traditional memorial because I want people to understand that the book is very honest. It's there's some things that are in the book that I don't think I would have written had I not been grieving. So there are it's very honest about our intimacy together. It's very honest about the fact that neither of us were perfect, and gives the reasons why. So I think that he would be very proud of me. I don't think of it as a tribute, but I think he would be very proud of me. And his chest would be poked way out about the intimacy parts. There was nothing shy about Rod.
No.
Nothing.
He's an amazing
So,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love it. It really does just sound. It sounds like a love story. It sounds like a time to reflect on love and be honest about it.
Right.
Because everybody can relate
Right.
to love.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
And-
yeah.
Yeah.
thank
And
you
it's
for
okay
that.
for everything that everything isn't perfect all the time.
It's not.
You know,
supposed to
I mean,
be.
life would be real boring if you never had a chance to have an argument.
That's right.
So,
I like that.
you know,
I like that.
it's okay.
I like
Life
that.
would be boring if you never had a chance to have an argument. That's a
Spoken
powerful
like
statement.
an author.
That's right.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh, thank you. So,
So
what's
glad to have
next?
her. Yeah.
What's next for Dorothy J.
To
Carter?
continue my art. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to COVID being over. Being able to wear as much lipstick as I
We
want
were just talking about that before.
without it smearing all over my face
Yeah.
and going outside and breathing fresh air. You know, I'm looking forward to us being able to get back to
Normal.
more. I don't think it'll ever
It'll
go
never be
back
normal.
to the way that it was before. It'll be a new normal,
Mm-hmm.
but less fearful.
Yeah, more connected.
You
So
thought
we
I
need
was
be
going to say
connected.
something about writing a book, right?
No, I
Good.
didn't. I believe what you say, but it's just I do appreciate you sitting with your emotions and however you come out with it. You know, just making it, giving us a love story. You know, I think that's very creative and bold to do.
Oh, it is.
You
It
know,
is.
to process love. You know, it's unfortunate that that's what it took. You know, to come out of it, but. Out of the darkness. I'm not trying to plug, but
Yeah.
it's funny what comes out of those darkest
It
moments.
does.
You know,
Right.
because this is something that is powerful for everyone. You know, something that everyone can reflect on. And I
Right.
think that's just, it's lovely. It's
It
lovely.
is.
Thank
It
you.
is. We're
Thank
so
you.
excited to have her. I'm so honored to have her.
Yes.
It's so cool. You know, it's so good. And remember, Saturday, guys.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you better get there early.
Yeah.
You got to get a good spot and get a chance at that raffle.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we have just a couple more minutes.
Okay.
We usually like to wrap up on a positive note. Is there anything that you would like to, any words of advice or just anything that you would like to share with our viewers?
Yes, something that has nothing to do with the book or my art that has occurred to me in the last couple of weeks with a couple of my friends. Stop saving stuff.
Mhm.
If you have beautiful crystal, drink your orange juice out of it.
That's
Okay.
right.
Stop saving stuff.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy
that.
it. We all have those beautiful crystal. We have china. We have clothes that we don't wear because we're waiting for something special. And you reach a certain point in your life where waking up this morning was special.
Yeah,
So
it
go
was.
ahead and stop saving stuff. Just
like that.
enjoy
I
it.
do too.
I like that.
I do too. Wow, that's a great. I love
It's
that.
powerful. I mean, it's not something, because we all do it.
Yep.
We all do it, and I'm a stickler about those clothes. That's why I like the artistic events and putting together events, because those are the opportunities for you to pull it out. Okay,
Right.
where am I going to wear it? Wear it.
Wear
Wear it right now.
That's right. Put it on. Put it
you
on.
know,
Enjoy
but
it.
yes, because you never know, and treat each day like a gift.
It is.
Right.
It is a
Just-
gift.
You know, use your best martini glasses for your own martini while you're sitting there by yourself.
That's right.
It doesn't have to be a special occasion.
That's right.
I was headed to the dollar store. Y'all know you shop at the dollar store. I was headed to the dollar store to buy some water glasses because I didn't have any, you know. And I have all these crystal glasses that a good friend who loves crystal gives me crystal every Christmas. And I'm like, well, what am I saving them for?
That's right. That's
Well,
a
there
good.
it is.
It's going to be in the box, and somebody is going to be deciding who to give them to when I'm not in this life anymore, and I will have never used them.
That's a great
So
thing. I
I
love that.
started.
I'm
I'm
take
drinking
that.
my orange juice out of crystal.
I
Take
like that. I
that.
never thought of that.
With my apricot, with my Kensington apricot brandy, sipping orange juice and eating eggs.
That's right. That sounds good. With their fine china.
Yes, right. That's right. Well,
right.
thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Dawn.
much for joining us. This really was a treasure.
I have enjoyed it, and I know I made you wait. I know. I
That's
did.
right, it was
She's
the
been
word- it
asking
was
me
so
for a long
We've been
time.
patient. We've been
But it-
because we know you're a celebrity.
Oh, stop that.
But you are. She is. She is. And we knew. I mean, we know that you're busy. So the fact that you took the time and made the time to come here, and bless us with your story. Thank you.
Well,
It's
thank you
yeah.
for having me.
Yeah, and I had the honor of knowing Rod.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Deb and I have known each other for 40 plus years.
Met her at an art show. Her and her husband went into the booth and
A
said,
long time ago.
I really like you. I like this work. And da 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 da. And it was an instant friendship. Instant. Yeah. It was La St. Clair in St. Clair Shores. I'll never forget that. Yep.
Yeah. Deb has said that he's very vibrant.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you.
See y'all.
Thank you, everybody.
Sunday,
Thank you for
Saturday.
watching.
WJCZ.
Wonderful interview. This was just wonderful. It
Thank
was a
you.
delight. I
Thank
hope it was
you.
a delight to you all too. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Yes.
We'll see
And,
you
uh,
Saturday.
we'll see you Saturday.
You better be there.
1 p.m.
Yes.
Out of the Darkness. www.outthedarkness.eventbrite.com. RSVP now.
Yes.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, they're putting our skiing up.
Oh,
We
there it
really
is.
need
That's so-
everybody to come. I mean, because now it's a flood of people coming in, so make sure you get there for sure because it's gonna be hot. You know when it gets to be a crowd,
Yeah.
it's hot. So get your RSVPs in.
That's right.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Until next Wednesday. Good night.
Bye. What a great show.
Yeah.
I think you went
What
good.
is that? Oh, thank you. Because
Aw.
next when you see me next Wednesday, I'll be 35.
Baby.
gosh.
She said, "Oh God."
Get out of here.
Thank
That is
you.
so sweet.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.